Welcome back, Cat 5 class. We're going over problem 4-10. The shaded area here in the cylindrical surface is just to indicate that this is cylindrical in shape. We're not going to draw these lines. It's just to give it a little bit of a shadow, just to indicate that this is cylindrical in shape. All right, so let's take a look at the 3D model. There it is. All right, so we're going to call this the front view. Okay, let's go back to isometric view. Okay, so we have 3 yellow holes going all the way through, as you can see. So from the front view, we cannot see either one of the 3 holes. So we're going to have to represent them with red hidden lines for the diameter and a green center line for the axis. Same for this one. Red hidden lines for the diameter and one for the axis. And same thing with this hole. Red lines for the diameter and a green center line representing the axis. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so there's the front view. Okay, so let's go to our AutoCAD file. Okay, so we are missing the 3 holes. Okay, so we can cheat, right? So let's get this one out of the way first. From the right side view, let's go to the red hidden layer. And let's go with line command. Go to the top quadrant, turn on your object snap, your ortho. Top quadrant, go across. And there it is. Right click enter. Go to the bottom quadrant. So this represents the diameter of the hole. Right click enter. Okay, so let's correct the length. Let's shorten this. There it is. Okay, and hit escape to deselect. And don't forget the green center line. Okay, so draw a line from the center. And we're going to go across and always go beyond with the green center lines. That's so that we don't mix them up with the red hidden lines. And let's correct the length. Let me turn off object snap because sometimes it's hard to change the length without it snapping to something. Okay, there it is. And hit escape to deselect. Okay, so there we have our red hidden lines representing the diameter of the hole and the green center line representing the axis of the hole. That's important for machining, especially because the machinist is going to aim for the center. It's going to follow the axis to drill that hole. All right, so now let's draw the ones from the top view. So let's draw the green center lines first since we are in the green center layer. So line command. Let me turn on object snap. I'll go to this center, go straight down from that center. Okay, there's our green center line. Right click enter. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to the wheel to pan. Repeat again. So from this center here, the larger hole goes straight down. Okay, I hold on to the wheel to pan and let me line it up with this one. So I'm going to try and track it. Oh, there it is. Finally got it to track. Click and right click enter. And there's our green center lines. Now we need the red hidden lines. So let's go to the red hidden layer. Line command, go to the left quadrant for the little hole, straight down. Right click enter. Repeat again for the other quadrant and right click enter. Same thing for the large circular hole. Go to the left quadrant, go straight down. Right click enter. And once again hit spacebar if you want to repeat the same command. And right click enter. Okay, so there we have it. So now we can go ahead and shorten the red hidden lines. Okay, and there's the red hidden lines and green center lines representing all 3 holes. Hit escape to deselect. And it looks like we're done. front view. Yep, no red hidden lines. Any hidden lines in the background will be overwritten by the white visible thicker object lines. Okay, so let's go over to the right side view. And right away, we're missing the arc. So let's do the arc first. Side view. Okay, so we're missing the arc. And by the way, notice how it doesn't look nice and circular. It looks more like a polygon. It looks jagged. And that's so it doesn't eat up a lot of memory. If it was trying to create a perfect arc or circular shape, it would eat up a lot of memory and maybe even freeze your computer. So that's why it takes shortcuts and it does instead a polygon. Instead of trying to draw a perfect arc or circular curve, if it did, it would take an infinite number of points to create that perfect arc, and then it would take forever and eat up the memory and freeze up the software and maybe your computer. Okay, so that's why it does a polygon. Same thing with the hole. See, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like a 15-sided polygon instead of a circle. And once again, it does that so it doesn't eat up a lot of memory and slow down your computer. All right, so let's go back. So we're missing the arc. The arc is the height of the front view, right? So here's the arc, and this is the height. Okay, we hit escape. Okay, so let's go over to the visible layer, and we're going to use the arc command, arc. And let's go with center, start and end. Center, start and end. Second option. Okay, so I'm going to go to the center, click. Let's start on this corner. Oh, that's not what I wanted, right? Hit escape, exit, exit, try it again. Okay, once again. Now I clicked start center when I should have chosen center, start, end. That's okay. Let's say I went with start, center, end. Let's see, once again, I misclicked. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I meant to pick the center. You can always click here where it says center in the command line. Hey, instead of first selecting my starting point of the arc, let me pick the center. So I can click on center or type in C, enter for center. Click on it, and now it's asking me for the center. Center point, click. Then my starting point, click. And no, that's not what I wanted. It's upside down, right? Click. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Start over again. So I should have started from right to left. So it goes counterclockwise. So let me delete this arc, do it over again. Okay, third attempt, right? Third time is the charm. So let's go again. Start, center, end. Click on the word center in the command line. So I can give it a center first. Instead of starting on the left, we're going to start on the right quadrant. It's going to go counterclockwise, and now we can close it. And notice how it lines up with the top of the front view, and it should line up. It's the same part. All right, so let's go back. Okay, looks good. Notice it's sharing the same center as the circular hole. Okay, they are concentric. Then we have this object line, right, for the top of the blue surface. Okay, so let's take care of that object line. Okay, so line command from this point, go across to the side view, and right click enter, there it is. Okay, now we have this cyan surface. Let me turn on the edges. Okay, so we need to represent this step downward with a hidden line. So we're going to draw a hidden line going across, hidden line. Okay, so let's go back. Go to the hidden layer. Go to line command. And again, from this bottom step, I'm going to go across. Right click enter. And there's our hidden line. Let me go ahead and shorten this. And there we have it. Hit escape. There's our hidden line. All right, so anytime you see a circular hole or a semicircle, right, half circle, you always need to draw a green center line. Okay, so let's go to green center layer. And I know some of you prefer, instead of drawing two separate green center lines for the center mark, some of you prefer to go to annotate and center mark. And pick the circle. And there's our center mark. And hit escape to exit the command, hit escape. Don't forget to go back to the home tab. Okay, so see how it automatically extends beyond the circle? One thing you don't want is for a green center line to end perpendicular at an object line. See how it ends right on the object line? You don't want that. It just doesn't look right. Okay, so another thing is we need to extend it beyond the arc. Whoa, it snapped too far. Let me turn off object snap, turn off object snap. So I have more control now. Always extend beyond the arc. And since this is symmetrical, might as go all the way downward. Okay, hit escape. Okay, so this is a symmetrical part. The left side is a mirror image of the right, so we can just use this long green center line. And we also need to extend beyond the arc, the semicircle. Okay, escape. Hit escape to deselect. All right, so we're almost there with the side view. Okay, we also have the holes, right? Now we can share the same axis line. If we go back to the 3D model, all three holes can share the same center line. They all line up with each other. So we're just using the existing green center line, which indicates symmetry. Center of this hole, center of that one, and center of this one. So all we need now are the red hidden lines. So once again, we already have this green center line that'll represent symmetry and also the axis of the large hole and little hole. Okay, so we know it lines up with the green center lines. So instead of having to draw hidden lines from scratch, I'm just going to copy these over. So let's select these red hidden lines, and we're going to grab it where the green center line intersects the white visible object lines. Okay, we're going to do a copy of those two hidden lines. Let me turn on object snap. And where the green center line and the white visible object line intersect, that's where I'm going to grab it from. Click. I have ortho on. So I have ortho on. It'll go across horizontally. And there's the insertion point where the green center line intersects the red hidden line. And click, and there it is. And right click enter to exit. It's the same hole, it's the same height. Right? It goes up to this surface, which is this red hidden line. Okay. Hit escape. Now let's do the same thing with the larger hole. Pre-select the red hidden lines for the larger hole. We're going to copy, and where the green center line intersects the white visible object line, that'll be your insertion point. Click. And where the green center line intersects the white visible object line, and right click enter, and there it is. We're done with that right side view. Okay, everything looks good. Okay, so now let's go over to the top view. Okay, so the top view, we're missing this wall here. See the thickness here of this wall? We need to represent it here. Let's take a look at the 3D model. Okay, let's go isometric view, and then let's go top view. Okay, so even though this is an arc, from the top it looks parallel to the screen, it looks horizontal. And then we're missing this object line. So object line, object line. So let's take care of that. Okay, so let's go to the visible object layer. Double click to do a zoom fit. There it is. Okay, so double click on the wheel to do a zoom fit. Okay, so visible layer. line command, and from this corner we're going to go straight up. It's an arc, but from this view it looks straight, like a straight line. Okay, now from this corner, same thing. We're going to go from this corner straight up, and right click enter, and let's shorten that length. Okay, hit escape to deselect, and now we need center marks. All right, so let's go over to the green center layer, annotate tab, center marks, go with the little circle and the large circle, and there it is. Okay, and hit escape to deselect, to escape or exit the command. All right, so now we have this hole also going through this wall here. Either we can project from the side view, hit the 45 and go across. That's the long way. We also have a short way. We can just copy this one over here, just like we copied these two over to the right side view. We can take these, just make sure it lines up with the center. Okay, we're gonna go to the Home tab and copy. So where the green center line intersects the white visible object line, make a copy. Oop, I pre-selected that 45 by mistake. That's okay. We'll just delete it. And there it is, centered. Keep making copies and enter to exit. And this, well, that construction line that we copied, not a big deal. We're going to turn off that layer anyway, so I'll just leave it. Okay, so in this case, we can extend the green center line going across. We could have used one green center line. I'll just extend it. Same thing with this one. I'll just extend it. Let me turn off object snap so it's easier to extend. Okay, and hit escape. So it's worth drawing one long green center line because the top and bottom are mirror images. So this indicates symmetry, and it also tells us that all three holes line up with each other. Okay, so let me turn off the construction lines. I think we're done. Let's cheat, take a look at the answer key. Okay, it looks like we have everything. Okay, so we have all the green center lines, hidden lines. Yep, we got everything. So we're actually done with this problem. Let's go back and save our work. Save as. And type in your initials, or you can type in complete or your name and save it. And once again, title blocks and borders are optional. I'm not going to do it on this video, but if you want to insert a title block and a border, I'll leave it up to you. Okay, so that's the end of this video.